Hey guys, good day. It's a little past morning, so good afternoon. The song that you may be hearing is Come On Let Me Love You by Third Day. Love the song. Really good song. I've had a couple of questions of whether or not I'm driving. Let me assure you all, I am sitting perfectly still when I am recording these videos. I'm goofy, I'm not stupid. Okay, yeah, we can argue that, but I'm not driving while I'm recording these videos. So, sorry about that. Yesterday I said something about talking about Noah today. And we'll get to Noah, but I had a change of plans. As always, the scriptures and songs will be linked down in the description. I got a couple of sets of scriptures. One is 1 John 4:16, and the other is 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 9, I believe it is. 4 through 8, which is commonly referred to as the love chapter in the Bible, for good reason. Before we start, I want to specify that, in my opinion, the English language throws around the word love way too much. We love our burritos or tacos, and we love our cars, or we love our children, or we love our spouse, or so on and so forth. As you can see, the word love is used for numerous emotions. And what we're going to talk about today is agape love, God's kind of love that He tells us to show towards everybody. And it's not necessarily a feeling love, but we'll get to that here in a minute. What we're going to talk about is agape love, God's kind of love. To start with, in 1 John 4:16 says God is love. And the verse is a little bit longer, but the part I wanted to take out of this is that God is love. Well, we go back over here and read 1 Corinthians 13, starting at verse 4. It says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth, it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always persevere. Love never fails. That's just the first part of verse 8. It goes on, but the first part of verse 8 is what I'm getting at. Love never fails. Now, taking 1 John 4:16 says God is love. You can reread that and put God in everywhere it says love. God is patient. God is kind. God does not envy. God is not boastful. God is not proud. God is not rude. God is not self-seeking. God is not easily angered. Remember that. God is not easily angered. We can make mistakes. God is not easily angered. That's comforting. I've made some bonehead decisions. God keeps no records of wrong. God does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. He always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. God never fails. It's kind of a simple thing today. I just read you the description of who God is, what God does. Now, mind you, when you go back and reread this, none of this is emotion. This is all action. This is all verbs. We choose to be patient. We choose to be kind. We choose to not envy. Don't have a thing to do with what your heart tells you, the pitter-patter, blah, blah. Agape love is action love. When we're told to love one another, this is what we're talking about. This is showing kindness, showing patience, showing not delighting in others' evil, or, just being kind is what it's talking about. This kind of love is an action love. Very little to do with your emotions. You can be patient and kind and all these things to people that you're very mad at, or even people you consider your enemies. And yes, I said enemies. Christians have enemies. It happens. We need to wake up and see that. So, when you go back and reread these, plug God into this in 1 Corinthians 13, great description of God. It is a description of how we're to treat one another. And take your emotions out of things every once in a while and do what God asks us to do. Be patient, be kind. And guess what? Over time, if you are these things with people that you don't necessarily get along with, if you're kind and patient, guess what? Your emotions will eventually turn and have positive emotions to people, even though that you may feel like you may not have or ever will have positive emotions towards. But it will happen. It may take some time, but it will happen. But just be decent. Be kind to everybody. Show love. Show your agape love. Show your kindness and patience. So anyway, when I tell you I love you guys, that's what I'm talking about. God's love, agape love. Love you all. Have a great rest of the week. Weekend's coming up. Y'all be safe. We got some bad things going on in our communities around here. The accident in Woodward. Lift those family up in prayer. People in our life group. We've got a couple in our life group who's got a grandson that's sick. I lift them up in prayer. Love you guys. See y'all later. Bye.